Hello valued viewers, I hope you're all doing very well. You guys have asked me to check out the new F-22 Raptor mod added by Masaka to Sea Power to test how good it is and I guess how realistic it is. We're in a pretty good place to do this because, as you know, we do DCS and we use the Raptor a lot in our DCS simulations. In fact, I just went into the Grim Reaper's main channel, typed in F-22 and 77 videos were picked up. And that's just the ones with F-22 in the title. So we've probably done hundreds of Raptor videos in different scenarios. The Raptor, of course, is all about its stealth. How well can it be detected by various types of hostiles? And we've been able to tune our Raptor to make it as realistic as possible. The F-22 in DCS was originally a mod created by Grinelli, and a very good one. We've taken that and modified it into our own version where we can change its radar, its stealth qualities, its weapons and so on. And in terms of detection, roughly speaking, we've made it so that a modern hostile aircraft with an AESA radar can detect the F-22 at between 10 and 20 miles, depending on various parameters. In terms of large radars, like a large AWACS radar, or a surface radar, like a large ship radar, or modern SAM, we've made the F-22 detectable at between 30 and 50 miles. Now, how realistic are those ranges? Well, the answer is, I don't know. And the answer is, other than a select few in the US Air Force and whatnot, no one knows. It's all guesswork. Any radar cross-section of stealth aircraft you've seen on the internet anywhere are all guesswork. If you chase where those numbers came from, it's just people guessing. I tend to model my values on another sim called Command Modern Operations, which is pretty well informed, so our values roughly match those values. And with feedback from you guys, we've got a range of values that seem to keep everyone happy. Everyone seems to think we're just about where the F-22 should be. So that brings us to Sea Power. It's just been added to Sea Power a few days ago, and we're going to do some tests. Let's see how well modelled it is in Sea Power. We'll start in the air. We'll put an F-22 up against a series of hostile fighters. Let's try a 1970s fighter, a 1980s fighter, and then a 2020s fighter. Then let's put it up against some ground threats. Old ships, modern ships, SAMs and whatnot, and let's see what happens. And let's see where it is compared with the DCS version. I've not tried it because I want to be surprised as well, and I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen, but we'll start it in the air, live fire, against a 1970s Soviet interceptor, a MiG-25 Foxbat. The Raptor itself comes with, well, really just one loadout, air-to-air, and that is, of course, 6 AMRAAMs and 2 Sidewinders. Why are they old AMRAAMs and old Sidewinders, C AMRAAMs and M Sidewinders? Well, presumably because it's trying to model the original incarnation of the F-22 in the late 1990s. Also, which subvariant of the AIM-120C is that? Is that the C5, the C7, the C8 or whatever? Because they all have wildly different performance. Well, we don't know, so assume C5. We'll start the F-22 50 plus miles away from a Foxbat. No AWACS because we don't want to complicate things, and I guess let's see what happens. Live fire. Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. F-22, 20,000 feet, puts his afterburner on, climbing to over 900 knots, 6 AMRAAMs, 2 Sidewinders, MiG-25 has 2 AA-6C and 2 D, rather limited 1970s weapons. Now, when will it spot the Raptor? Absolutely no idea. So I guess we speed forward and see what happens. In fact, let's see what the Raptor's up to. The Raptor is on weapons hold, sorry. I'm going to go to weapons 3. Immediately seen the Foxbat and missile away. Missile is climbing to 30,000 feet, 40,000 feet, 50,000 feet nearly. That seems perfectly realistic. Over it goes. Missile is 2,000 knots. Seems a little bit fast, but we'll let it have it. And MiG-25 is toast. And the range at that point was 15 miles. So the Raptor fired at about 40 miles because, to be honest, I forgot to set it to weapons 3. I won't forget from now on. The Foxbat saw the missile coming in as it would in real life. Put some countermeasures out, but the missile was not duped, as it probably wouldn't be in real life, and that was it. So let's rerun that, viewers, but this time I'm going to keep the Raptor on hold so he doesn't fire, because I just want to see when and if the MiG-25 can actually see the Raptor. We should know when it sees it, because it will put his afterburners on and start, well, either firing missiles or start manoeuvring. So let's just scroll forward and see what happens. One thing I've learned is you can't scroll too fast because it will stop the radars working in Sea Power, so you've got to be a little bit careful. Alright. Okay, pause. It did see the Raptor at 9 nautical miles. Well, to be honest, it's an old radar, 1970s radar, but it was still a pretty powerful radar for the time. Could it have seen an F-22 at 9 miles? Obviously, no one will ever know, but it seems within the realms of possibility. Let's see if we get a hit. I think these are semi-active radar homing missiles. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Evaded. Would it miss it? Well, very possibly. It's a very low radar cross-section jet. The radar and or missile could be fooled pretty easily. Missed, fired too late, out of whiz, and it's a dogfight. Or it's not a dogfight. Oh, what happened there? Oh, well, that was interesting, viewers. What happened is the missile fired, missed the Raptor, turned around 180 degrees where my mouse is, and hit it from the side. Is that possible in real life? Absolutely not. Not with 1970s technology. These are at best semi-active radar homing missiles. Unless it would have been a heat-seeking missile. No, even if it was a heat-seeking missile, it couldn't have done that. It would have gone out of the cone of track, the seek head. So that simply isn't possible. Interestingly, it is possible with modern lock-on after launch low-range weapons, but obviously that's not what was fired. So we'll ignore the kill, but the detection range I think was actually pretty good, so kudos so far. Next, against a 1980s foe, and I'm going to pause it this time so I don't forget to set him to free fire. It's a MiG-29A. It's a more modern radar than the Foxbat radar, but it's a lot smaller. I'm not actually sure if it's more powerful. It's probably not, to be honest, but it is more modern. He's got 2 semi-active radar homing missiles and 4 Sidewinder type Archer missiles. That's it. Let's go. Let's set our Raptor to free fire, so everyone's free fire. Okay, interestingly, he was in Wes straight away. 50 miles. That's impressive. Well, that probably tells us which type of missile it is. A C5 almost certainly would not have that range from those altitudes, 50 miles, so it's probably C7 or a C8, which would maybe just about do that range up to 50,000 feet. 2,400 knots, that's a bit fast in my opinion, but let me know. In terms of flight models and drag and whatnot, it's very simple in Sea-Power compared to DCS. DCS is a much better, infinitely better aerial simulator, and that's because Sea-Power is a naval simulator. It does ships very well and planes not very well. DCS does planes very well and ships not very well. I guess that's just how it is. One day we'll have a sim that can do everything perfectly, and that'll be awesome. But that's going to be a long ways away. Missile's still tracking as it would in real life. It's 1,800 knots, seems a bit fast for me. That's 3 times the speed of sound, but we'll let them have it. Oh, and the decoys this time work. Would that happen in real life? Almost certainly not. Almost certainly those decoys will be rejected by the missile. Oh, he's fired. Look, he's fired. No, he hasn't. Sorry, I was looking at the trail for the missile, trail for the American missile. You can't just evade a modern late 90s missile by putting some chaff out and staying on course. You would need to be doing kinematic maneuvers, electronic warfare defense, and chaff to stand a chance of beating a missile like that. As we all know, to be honest, from DCS. Anyway, let's carry on. Raptor's going to fire again, I guess. Yes. 15 miles. I don't know how well Sea-Power understands what an AMRAAM is and how well it works. DCS understands it fairly well. Sea-Power, there's a good chance it doesn't really understand it at all. I don't know. It's all very new in Sea-Power. And hit and kill, and the MiG obviously didn't fire. Let's see how well the MiG would detect it without the F-22 firing. Alright, MiG free fire. It's going to be a while, so let's just skip some time until they're about 20 miles apart. 9 miles, he's not going to see him. He's not going to see him. Pause. He saw him at 3 miles, and what missile did he fire? It was an Archer, so he couldn't get a radar lock at all. He couldn't fire semi-active radar homing missiles. He had to wait until he could see the heat of the Raptor and fire a heat-seeking missile, which is going to... and a gun. Which is going to be missed. And it's a dogfight. It's a one-sided dogfight because the Raptors can't fight. Let's just see what happens without the Raptor. Look at that. The missile chased him again. And missed. So in Sea-Power, the missiles just chase you 360 degrees. I wasn't aware of that. These old missiles, as I said, cannot do that in real life. It looks like now the Raptor has just outrun him. And there's not a lot he can do. He cannot see him on his radar. There's the missile. Oh, he just went right by. Oh, this is fun, viewers. Pause. Let's just try something else. The Raptor, what happens? Don't worry, we'll do dogfights and stuff later on, viewers. Let's just get the data and then we'll do it. Let's make the Raptor go as fast as it can. Just see if it can outrun that aircraft. 37,000 feet. Speed. Mark 2.25. Go. Huh. Oh, yes, it's going vertical. That may not have worked out like I wanted. Can it go vertical like that in real life? It sure can. It's a real beast of a plane. Well, unfortunately, I've just sent him to his certain death because I've slowed him down and he's going to get hit. So I was going to hit. Yep, there you go. That was interesting because the Foxbat could see the Raptor with his radar at 9 miles, but the MiG-29 couldn't see him at all on his radar. Had to get in a visual/heat detection range of 2 miles and then fire his missile there. How realistic is that? It's very possibly realistic. It's very possible an old Soviet-packed 1980s radar cannot detect a Raptor at all. Obviously, again, none of us will ever know, but it's well within the realms of possibility. So these are all good signs so far, viewers, because what we're not seeing is stupid results like this guy seeing the Raptor at 100 miles or whatever. So I'm pretty impressed. Next, let's bring in a 2020s fighter. So this time against a modernised Fulcrum, a K model. This is the variant used in modernity with modern radar, avionics, engines and whatnot. It has an extra station here, as you can see. We've armed it with Alamos here, which are going to be of the IR seeking type. Also, more modern R77 adders here, similar to the American AMRAAM. Which model is it? Is it the original or the -1? I don't know. And we've got Archers here. Let's see what happens now. Absolutely no idea. It's going to be a while before he spots him. We know that. So let's scroll forward 40 miles. Okay then. Now that was not expected. Just over 35 miles he fired with a radar homing missile. So that means he could see the Raptor with his fairly modern and capable radar at 37 miles. Now that doesn't ring true to me, viewers. What do you think about that? As I said, with us in DCS, of which we have control of, we've set it so that modern airborne fighter radars can see Raptor at 10 to 20 miles. This seems to be about double that, so that's interesting and not what was expected. Let's just see this to the end and see what happens. Is it going to hit? Well, there you go, fair enough. Not what I was expecting. A little bit disappointed. Let's try it with a Raptor free fire. Unpause, weapons free, fire at will, sir. Maximum range of the AIM-120C, about 50 miles, missile away. So it's going to get to fire at least well before the MiG, so it's probably going to be a Raptor win, but we'll see. We know at about 37 miles the MiG will fire, which again I think is unrealistic, so we've probably got MiG weapons in the air now. Oh no, now we have. Is it going to be a double KO? AMRAAM has been duped. I personally think that's very unrealistic. Let me know your thoughts, viewers. Here we have the Adder, an unknown variant, and that's... I don't know what happened, it just blew up for some reason. And an AIM-120C fired, direct shot trajectory, and another missile fired. MiG is dead. Raptor... Oh god, what's happening? Raptor shot down. Oh, I don't know what's happening now, sorry. Pause. Right, what the deuce is happening here, viewers? No one has hit anyone, and a dogfight is ensuing. I think Raptor was actually shooting down the Russian missiles with its AMRAAMs. Yes, look, because it's fired 5 AMRAAMs, and I only saw 3 fired at the hostile MiG, so it was using its AMRAAMs to shoot down the oncoming missiles. That's pretty smart, right? Even to the point where the IR Alamos were starting to be fired. Wow, that's kind of interesting and awesome. Well, let's see what happens, and go. Now, why isn't the MiG manoeuvring? I don't know. Here we go. The AI is nowhere near as good as the DCS AI, as you know. I know I always moan at AI, but there are different levels of AI. Thank God I put the cons on, because I can't see what's going on. The Raptor's down. He got an Alamo to the face, which is, to be honest, pretty realistic. The engines are slightly cooled on the Raptor, but it's still extremely hot to a modern missile like that. The Raptor fired first at 50 miles, about the max range of its missile. The MiG started firing about 30 plus miles. The Raptor shot down the MiG missiles, and the AMRAAMs were duped by the chaff from the MiG-29. They merged. The MiG turned inside the F-22 and shot it with a close-range weapon. Is any of that realistic? I think not. I'm pretty sure MiG could not detect Raptor at 35 miles. I might be wrong, obviously. You know, I'm no authority on this. It's just my internal calculations from everything that I've seen and read so far. Would the American missiles be duped by just some chaff coming out the back of a non-maneuvering MiG? Almost certainly not. Almost certainly those AMRAAMs would have rejected them and tracked the MiG-29. Could the American have shot the aggressing missiles down with an AMRAAM? Possibly. I'm not 100% sure. Let me know what you think. Would a MiG-29 have won a turn fight with an F-22 Raptor? Probably not. Probably the Raptor would have won. It's designed literally to win dogfights, and it's all round a better plane. But let me know your thoughts on that, viewers. Finally, could it have been that the MiG used its IRST, its electro-optical system, for finding the Raptor rather than its radar? Which you can probably see on the nose here. There. Maybe because, as I said, you can't hide from a passive heat detector, not really, but it wouldn't have been able to guide an adder. It would have needed a radar lock to guide its adder, in my opinion. I'm pretty sure that's right, viewers. Anyway, lots of interesting thoughts there, viewers. Let me know your thoughts on that. Don't worry, we'll do some more air-to-air combat soon. Before we go any further, I just want to put the Raptor up against some ground radars because, like I said, I'm doing this for the first time. It's just interesting to see what results we get. Now, in real life, F-22 can do precision air-to-ground. It can carry JDAMs. In sea power, it can't, or it can't at the moment. It's just air-to-air. So instead, let's just see how well surface radars can detect Raptor in sea power. I've got two ships. One, a 1980s Soviet Slava class. This is a type of vessel that in the 1990s, the F-22 might have faced. It has a non-phased array type radar, but a very powerful radar. Then let's put it against a contemporary vessel, a modernized variant of the American Ticonderoga with, I forget if it's the SPY-1 or 6, but a fairly modern phased array radar, and see how well it does against that. We'll start the Raptor in each case 60 miles away from the ship and see what happens. Alright, so what we've got is F-22 here, F-22 here. They're just moving towards the different vessels, just over 50 miles away from the vessels. That's the old Slava, that's the modern Tycho. Unpause, what's going to happen? Here's the Slava. I think that's the big radar there, and I assume it's a moderately antiquated but powerful 3D search radar. And this guy's already seeing some radar. So what's going on with this guy here? This is the Ticonderoga. Now, interestingly, this guy is detecting some radiation or a threat, and this guy's not. But he doesn't seem to have fired, so I'm not sure what's going on exactly. Let's just carry on. There's a missile. It has fired. Pause. Well, that's interesting. So it seems that the Tycho fired a RIM 156, kind of the old style SM6 from the 1990s, at a range of, well, about 40 miles by the looks of it. So that's interesting. Let that dive down. Now, how well is it going to do against the F-22? It's a semi-active radar homing missile. Put the Raptors, I think, at 10,000 feet. Yeah, 10,000 feet. Raptor dead. Well, it's within the remit of what we've done in DCS, viewers. Again, we've said powerful surface radars can see Raptor at 30 to 50 miles, depending on parameters. So it's still, you know, within what we've got there. Now let's see how this guy does. So Slava is 30 miles away. A lovely romantic sunset. In fact, talking of detection, viewers, I've got my own detection problems. Maybe some of you can give me some advice. I've recently got a piece of metal in my eye, a very small bit, and for reasons, it was in there for 3 days because I had to go to 3 different ER or A&E departments, as we call them, emergency departments, in hospitals in my country. I spent the entire weekend doing it. First one, couldn't deal with it, or wouldn't deal with it. The second one, wouldn't deal with it. So I went to a third hospital, like 60 miles away, and they could deal with it, and they dealt with it immediately and really easily by literally getting what we call a cotton bud and just rubbing out of my eye. Pause. Sorry, viewers. There's me chatting away about my own problems. And because the bit of metal had been in there for so long, it started rusting, and the rust had gone into the eye, so that after they'd taken the bit of metal out, they had to get a little mini angle grinder and grind the surface of the eye to get all the crap out, which is done now. So I no longer rusted, but the surface of the eye, I can see it in the mirror, is no longer smooth. Like the left eye is good, it's smooth. This eye is now really rough. You can see all the roughness. And that's great, except for the fact I can no longer see through that eye. It's like looking through a fishbowl. Everything's completely blurry. So I'm basically down to one eye at the moment. And what the heck happens now? I don't know what to do. Does it, like, repair itself? Or am I half blind from now on? Ever so worried about it? Let me know your thoughts, viewers, because I can't really read the writing. What does all this stuff say? It's going to be problematic. Anyway, sorry about that. So Slava didn't fire any missiles. It did fire its cannon. Now, that could have been visually, or it could have been radar. We've got no real way of knowing, I suppose. But it was at 12 miles, so the maximum range of the gun, pretty much. It fired it. Is it going to fire any missiles? Chance of it hitting it with that gun is pretty small, I would imagine. Without a radar track, that is. If they were firing visually, 0 chance. No missiles. Raptor is free to overpass. As I say it, a missile comes out, which presumably means they've got a radar track on it. It is. I can't lock on it. So I think it's a gecko, isn't it? 2 miles. So I think that means Slava can see Raptor at 2 miles. And what's Raptor doing? Raptor's using its gun. Raptor shot the missile down with its gun. Wow. That was unexpected. Where's the damn ship? Sea Whiz, which can be optically fired, it can be radar fired. Or at least the American one. Can be. Look, it's outrunning the shells from the friggin' naval cannon. That was brilliant. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Raptor. Very good. So what we saw there was that, in fact, let's just beef it up a bit. Let's just see how far Tycho can see it. Right, so this time 130 nautical miles away from Tycho. Let's just see what happens. Try not to speed up too much, but I don't want to take too much time. 120 miles. Pause. It saw it at 110 miles at least and fired an RIM 156 at that. Could it do with that in real life? I would say definitely not, viewers. Let me know your thoughts. Again, 30 to 50 miles in DCS we've set. So that's probably the end of the scientific part of the video, viewers. What we found is that a 1970s interceptor could see it with its radar at, I think it was 7 miles? A 1980s fighter could see it, well, it couldn't see it at all on radar. Is that possible? Maybe. A 2020s still in service MiG-29K could see it at 30 plus miles. Is that possible with its radar? Probably not, but I don't really know. Let me know your thoughts. I would say probably not. I mean, if it could, what's the point of Raptor? In terms of surface radars, a old 1980s Soviet radar could see it at just a handful of miles, 2 or 3 miles. I would have thought it could probably see it further, but I may well be wrong there, viewers. It is 1980s tech, so let me know your thoughts. And finally, a much more modern 2000s era phased array radar from a Tycho can see it at least 110 miles. I would suspect that's probably BS, viewers. I would be very surprised if a surface radar could see Raptor at 110 miles. Again, what would be the point of Raptor at that point? So that's all I can think of doing. Let's just have a big-ass dogfight to finish with. Welcome back, viewers. So I figured we would do Raptor against MiG-29K, as MiG-29K did best. I've got 6 Raptors here in a Vic flight, all set to free fire and the same skill level as the Russians. The Russians will also have 6 in a, let's face it, pretty unrealistic Vic formation with the weapons we saw before. 3, 2, 1, now. Raptors, AMRAAMs away. First salvo of AMRAAMs on the way. First Soviet missiles out at about 30-ish miles. Sorry, Soviet. Russian adders. Distance between threats of under 30 miles now. AMRAAMs with a clear advantage at this point. Here come the AMRAAMs. How many kills? Okay, 50%. That could be worse, right? At least the missile's deconflicted, okay. Right, Raptors. One down. Okay. Only one down. I can live with that. A bunch more AMRAAMs out. No, AIM-9's out. Look, AIM-9s are being fired at the Russian missiles. Oh, this is where it all goes nuts, isn't it? I'll probably just shut up now and try and figure out what's going on. Oh, all of the MiGs are down. All of the MiGs are down. Pause. So it seems that the first one-on-one I ran was a fluke, viewers, because I ran it 6-on-6 and all MiGs have been wiped out immediately And it seems two Raptors were shot down. Although I've only got one body, so where's the others? Let me just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. Definitely 2 Raptors got shot down. So I guess what I care about there is that the Raptors won, which they almost certainly would do in real life. So I guess that side of things is working okay. Just one more thing. Let's try 2 against 1. Let's try 2 MiGs for every Raptor. Okay, let's see what happens here. 12 MiGs, 6 Raptors. Look how stupid it is. They're just flying parade formation. It's very Grim Reapers, isn't it, viewers? Oh, very disappointing. 3 taken down. Bad AMRAAM attrition rate. Wow, what's going on there? Don't know. Raptors confused, question mark? Because there's still plenty of MiGs. The Raptors have turned around and gone home. I did not see that coming. But they shot all the MiGs down. There's one more MiG left. Where is it? 2 MiGs left. 2 MiGs there versus the Raptors, and the Raptors have turned away. And then they've gone defensive, haven't they? And then fired 1 missile back. And that was actually pretty cool. I don't know whether the game meant to do that or not. That's it. All MiGs destroyed. Well done, Raptors. They just took on, oh god, 12 MiG-29Ks, and we lost only 2 Raptors. So, that's pretty awesome, right? Got to up that again, haven't we? Alright, 6 Raptors versus 18 MiGs. We've got to see where this goes, viewers. We've got to follow it to its conclusion. Now, it seems that each Raptor can only fire 1 AMRAAM in sea power at a time. In real life, each could fire all 6 AMRAAMs at once and guide them in. So that's a massive nerfing of the Raptor's ability as compared to real life, right? But for the lols, let's see what happens. Oh dear, only 1 destroyed. Too much chaff in the air, I guess. Second salvo in. Chaff not so effective. It's kind of hard to watch compared to DCS, isn't it? I don't really know what I'm supposed to click on and how I'm supposed to click on it, so you'll just have to wait and see what happens. Raptors turned out again. Burners on, outrun the missiles. MiGs in an absolute nightmare of stuff. New massive salvo sidewinders all together flying away. That's interesting. All MiGs down, question mark? No, 1 MiG left. 1 MiG left out of 18, and he's chasing the Raptors home. One of the Raptors is going to have to sacrifice himself, turn around. Got him! Well, that was 6 Raptors, everything set fairly, and they just took down 18 MiG-29Ks. I get the feeling we could keep doing this and they're just going to keep winning, and the thing that will determine when the MiGs start winning is when the Raptors run out of ammo, which is not too far away from now, to be honest. So I'm happy to terminate it there. So, although I think the MiG can see the Raptor way too far away, look at that guy's chasing, too far away, when you actually put them in combat, the Raptor comes out with what I would suggest would be pretty realistic, and most people will probably agree, end result of taking down, 1-to-1, 2-to-1, 3-to-1, in my opinion. That's probably as far as I want to take it. I hope that was interesting, and bye-bye.